guys, what's going on? So recently we've begun to believe more and more that Pearl could possibly be male. Now when we got her, I'm just going to call Pearl her for the sake of this video, even though the whole point is that she could possibly be male, just to keep things simple. Now we got Pearl when she was about a month old. She'd just been weaned, and at the bird store they said they thought she was female because of all the intense purling that she had on her body. Now they said they didn't know for sure. There was no way to tell without doing an official gender test, but that was sort of what they thought just based on what she looked like. Now they said when she got older, if she was a female, then all that purling would remain on her body, and if she was a male, it would disappear, and that was something to look for as she aged. Now right now Pearl is about 1.5 years old, and the purling on her body is basically still there. Now, it may not be quite as intense as it was when we first got her, but she's definitely still a pearled bird. There's basically no solid color on any part of her body. So as far as the coloring, we're a little up in the air on how big an indicator that is of her gender. Now, male cockatiels tend to have darker coloring. Their grays tend to be very gray, their yellows tend to be very yellow, whereas females, everything is a little bit more muted. Now we've noticed with Pearl, even though she has very little solid coloring on her body, the coloring that she does have is pretty dramatic. Her grays are fairly dark, although not on her chest, just the grays on her wings and her back. So again, there's a little gray area there, no pun intended. Her yellows are pretty yellow, and her cheeks are very bright orange, which is another indication the males have the bright orange cheeks and the females are a little bit more muted. Now, another indication of gender is how much noise your cockatiel makes. Males tend to be much more vocal, they're louder, they make more noise more frequently, they're just much more present vocally than females are. Females tend to be a little bit shyer, they're more reserved, they keep to themselves, and they just basically don't talk as much as the males do. Like I said, we've had Pearl for about 1.5 years, and the first year she really wasn't very talkative. She would chirp and she would sing and make little chattery noises once in a while, but it wasn't anything that we noticed. And I know we mentioned in previous videos when people asked if cockatiels are loud, we said we've never had any problem with Pearl making noise. Now the last about 6 months, as she's gotten older, she's developed this very high-pitched, whiny, whistling sound that, I'm just going to be honest, drives me absolutely nuts. She often does it when she's in the cage and the others of us are downstairs but around the corner, in the dining room, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, where she can't see us. And she wants to be with us, and that's her way of saying very repetitively and insistently that she wants to be with us, is this whiny call that she makes over and over again. And it actually got to the point when Brendan was doing his online schooling because of Corona, he had to stay at home and do school online. When he was on the Zoom meetings with his class, we had to every day cover up Pearl, so she wasn't making all this noise in the background when he was online with his class. And Pearl has started displaying some other male behaviors as well. She will strut on occasion. She doesn't do this frequently enough that I was able to get any footage of it. I had the camera out earlier today. I was trying to get her to sort of strut around. She wasn't in the mood for it. But she's done it several times in the past, and oddly, it's always when I'm sitting on the sofa, usually just watching TV or whatever, and I'll hear this kind of loud chattering right behind my head. And I'll look over and she'll be coming along the back of the sofa, and she has her head down and her wings out a little bit away from her body, and she's walking and chattering very strongly towards me. So like I said, she doesn't do this a lot. She's done it maybe 10 times ever, but it always seems to be when I'm in that position on the sofa and she's behind me. Now another thing that male cockatiels do frequently is bob their heads, and we've noticed Pearl does this a lot. Sometimes she does it with a little persuasion. If you kind of move something up and down in front of her, she'll kind of bob her head in response to that. And sometimes she just does it on her own. Pearl will also frequently hop, and I know we've showed that in previous videos. She'll just be on the table or whatever, and she'll just kind of go bloop. And the hopping, the head bobbing, and the strutting are all male courting behaviors. And finally, a very obvious telltale sign of your bird's gender is whether or not they lay eggs. And Pearl has not laid any eggs yet at all, so for us, that's not an indication, as of yet, of her gender, his gender, its gender. Now, like I said before, you can get your bird's gender tested officially and scientifically with an actual gender test where you take them to the vet, and the vet cuts a fingernail and withdraws a little bit of blood and tests the gender that way. We don't plan on doing that anytime soon, just with Corona and everything going on. It's not an essential reason to be out. It's not something that we've completely ruled out for the future at some point. If more and more time goes by and we're still unsure of Pearl's gender, we may do that. But for now, we're just going to keep an eye on her behaviors at home and see where that leads us. So let us know in the comments below what you think Pearl's gender is. Maybe you have a cockatiel that's exhibited these same behaviors and has turned out to be one way or the other. Let us know, and we're eager to hear what you have to say. So I realize we have shown basically no pillow in this video, so stay tuned for some pillow and Pearl antics on the sofa. You're being a mess. You're going over here making trouble. He's been biting your tail. Oh, you're making everything hard for everybody. Treat her with Pearl.